We are back. Another episode of Chef's Kiss. I am joined by a special guest today, Chase, Shugart, the Phillies' new relief pitcher. What up, Chase?
Not much, man. How are you?
Dude, glad to have you. Thanks for stopping by and talking with me, man. I'm excited. I've had a couple Phillies pitchers on in the past, and it's always fun to like pick their brain just about the game of baseball, right? Because I mean, most of us are just fans of the game, so we get to see you guys for 3 hours on the field. We want to know everything else that goes on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, have you spoken with any of the guys yet? What was that like? Like, as soon as you get signed, are people reaching out to you? You're reaching out to other people because obviously you've been with Boston, you've been with Pittsburgh. So I know you're very familiar with a lot of players. Did anybody have you spoke to anybody yet? What does that look like?
I just had I know Stott well enough to kind of reach out to him, and my roommate in college played high school ball with him in Vegas, so a lot of Call of Duty games we play together and stuff like that. So he was like welcome, stuff like that. But playing against Bowman, Cape Cod, and then there's two minor league guys from this area that I played against in high school. So like knowing them and just kind of picking their brain, how spring training like what to expect and things like that. So it's
Hmm.
been an easy transition. I've had Gotham reach out, talk to some of the staff, and they're really excited and just ready to get to Clearwater and get rolling at this point.
Yeah, Caleb is very highly regarded here in Philly, and obviously, like in the baseball community, he's a very good baseball mind. And I listen to a lot of what he says about some of the younger pitchers on the staff, like Orion Kirkering when Strom was here. So that's awesome, man. I'm glad you're kind of getting integrated. How is that process, right? Because I mean you're essentially leaving a clubhouse, going into like a new clubhouse, and you've done that once before. So like, what is that like? You're like, hey guys, I'm Chase. You got to introduce yourself. What does that look like?
Yeah, it's just really staying true to myself, and a lot of Philly has a lot of big name guys. You know what I mean? So like, it's cool to be able to be a part of that organization, and hopefully help contribute to a championship run, and just going about my business and showing the other guys that that like I like to joke around, that I'm a joking person, so joke around, but also handling my business on and off the field to where it puts me in the best spot to be able to compete. So I'm excited to meet new faces and just get ready to roll with it.
That makes me happy, Chase, because in 2022, when the Phillies went to the World Series, the chemistry from the team felt very loose, felt very goofy, good vibes. We had a song, everything like that. So if you can infuse some of your goofiness, your fun stuff in there, I think that would be very beneficial to this team who we've kind of seen get a little bit stiff over the last couple years. So be yourself, have fun. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I remember
Chase,
that song.
yeah, I mean, I still play it, man. It makes me emotional, honestly. Like, I love that song. It just
Yeah.
reminds me of the best days of October and October baseball. So, Chase, I was creeping on your Instagram, and somebody commented on one of your photos that said top 100 teammate. I forgot who said that, but why do
Uh,
you think they said that?
so it was Daniel Palka, and I played with him in 23, and he was with us in Worcester with the Red Sox, and it's somebody I got close with, and I saw that comment and I DM'd him. I was like, top 100, but I'm probably number 100, huh? That's just how he is. But I like to, if anybody needs anything, I like to be a guy that's there for them. Off the field, personal issues, whatever's needed and asked of me, and just to be a shoulder to anybody who needs one is what I want to be to anybody. You know what I mean? Just be a good person.
Must be those Texas values that you got in you, right, Chase?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw you, Skeens, Some of the other guys from the Pittsburgh staff. You guys went to the U.S. Open. They did like this really cool video for you guys. Like, how was that? Obviously, going to the U.S. Open together, being on the staff, and then obviously Skeens, is doing stuff that we haven't seen or a lot of pitchers aren't
Right.
capable of. So, any takeaways that you got from him? So, yeah, just tell me all that.
Yeah, U.S. Open, it was sick. VIP access. We're walking the course. We're touring all the TaylorMade, Callaway, like the trucks, seeing all like how things are put together, what guys need, what they don't need, who likes what. So really a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that people don't usually get to see. We were blessed with to be able to be there for the practice round, and Min Woo Lee threw out the first pitch that night, and I lucky me, I got to catch it. Sorry, got to catch it, and then going forward, just really enjoying that day and what was offered to us through the Pirates and through Paul and whoever else was a part of setting that up. And then Paul, he said it. Paul's doing things we've never seen before, and it's 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 different. You know what I mean? Like, and there's a reason why he's doing things we've never seen before. His work ethic, it's I don't want to call him a robot. He's got a great personality, but the way he sticks to his routine, the way he goes about his business, it's very robotic like, you know what I mean? Like day one, I got this, day two, I got that, day, so on and so forth. Day five, I'm on the mound, I'm ready to go, just because he did everything that was needed to put himself in that position to succeed. And, he was doing it better than anybody else in the NL last year, you know what I mean? Winning the Cy Young. And, I can sit here and talk about how great Paul is all day. And, great person off the field, easy to talk to, good sense of humor. So, but the success that he's getting, it's not just given to him. It's very well earned behind the scenes.
See, that's the thing I wish. This is what I'm trying to give a platform for, because if you were to tell me that Paul Skeens had a good personality or he was funny, I wouldn't believe you, because like we don't see it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you guys are obviously media trained for questions. There's reporters that are trying to pin you into a corner to get a certain kind of answer out of you. So I understand that you have to keep your guard up around media and anything that's being recorded, all that kind of stuff. But I want to see that. Like I want to see Paul Skeens being silly or
Yeah.
funny or whatever. Like that's the stuff that we don't get to see behind the scenes unless you have a close relationship with him.
Right.
So I always think that's interesting. So Paul Skeens, funny guy. I had no idea.
Yeah. He's got a very dry sense of humor. So like that dry humor stuff, that's all him. And I'm a dry humor guy as well. So it's funny.
Okay. Yeah, that plays. Chase, say when. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Tombstone, Doc Holliday. He was always, he wasn't looking for a fight, but he was ready for one. So whenever somebody wanted a problem, he was like, all right, well, just say when, we can get this thing rolling. So I try to emulate that mindset and get it, just like, hey, the bullpen phone rings. Hey, should get hot. You're in the game. It's like, all right, let's rock. So just being ready whenever that my name's called, and just trying to take that mindset. Like it could be in the second inning, it could be the ninth inning. It could be here's one out, here's 3 innings. Just whatever's needed, whatever's asked of me, whenever it's asked of me, is what I try to just take it and run with.
And do you have that stitched on your glove?
I got it stitched on my glove, and then I got it on my belt as well.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yep.
My favorite line from that movie was like he's telling Doc Holliday, he's like, "Yeah, I got a lot of friends." He says, "I don't."
I don't. Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So he was willing to die, or something. Like, "You willing to die for?" He's like, "Yeah, I got a lot of friends. I don't."
Yep.
Yeah, cold blooded.
Yep.
Chase, so this is going to be the first season with the ABS system.
Right.
First time being implemented in the majors. As a pitcher, want to get your thoughts on it. If anything changes moving forward? Obviously, you still got to get the ball in the zone, right? The difference is you get 2 challenges a game. Do you think that benefits you? Do you like it, not like it? Just kind of your thoughts about that being new to the game this season.
Yeah, I think it's fine. You know what I mean? I don't think we're taking away from the game of baseball. There's still going to be human error behind the plate. We know the umpires work hard. Like, there's no doubt about it. It's just like, hey, me or the catcher has seen something different. We think that caught the zone. We have the ability to do that instead of turn around and start an argument, and then we're essentially screwed for the rest of the game because we're on bad taste with the umpire. There's that side of it, but then there's also the thing where you get like that ball off, you get that call, the batter disagrees, and you don't get that call anymore unless they're out of challenges or they're not challenging. So there's going to be give and take with it, but I've had it in the minor leagues since I think it was 23 or something like that, and it's a quick
Mm-hmm.
process. You'll roll through it. It'll pop up on the screen, ball, strike. It'll show you how far it's off. We saw it in spring training last year, so it's good, but like I said, it'll be give and take.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of look at it either way, can take it, leave it, whatever. I like the human element of baseball because
Right.
life isn't fair, baseball isn't fair. So I always grew up like liking that somebody was as a judgment making those calls. So I think it'll be like yeah, like you said, just a little bit different. Those calls are quick, which helps. Like, dude, just get it going. We don't need to keep looking at this
Yeah.
like it's the NFL, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just going to be interesting. You got any like are you going to be quick to pull the trigger when like no, that was on the paint. I'm tapping it.
No, I probably won't be doing it. I've done it before, and I've been completely wrong because as a pitcher,
Okay.
at least for me, I get violent and I'm moving quick, and by the time I'm like get my sights back on where the ball ended up and the catcher framed it, I think it's a strike. It looks good, so boom, I hit it. So I'm probably just gonna
Right.
leave that to the catcher, and whatever he thinks, catcher knows best. So
Yeah. Well, speaking of catcher, JT Realmuto, one of the best defensive catchers in baseball, man. So that's excited for you to start working with him. I don't know if you've had any conversations with him. He's obviously signed a 3-year deal here or with the Phillies. So got to be excited to start working with JT, right? I mean, one of the more premier catchers in baseball.
yeah, absolutely. It's hard to say anybody's doing it better. It's just from like the little things I've seen. I've heard he works hard. He wants what's best for the pitcher. So I'm really excited to get to meet him, to pick his brain, see what he has for me. If there's anything I can offer for him, who knows if I can, but just to see what he has for me and what he can offer me, and I'm really excited to get to work with him and pick his brain.
Yeah, he does a lot of preparation for each batter, how they're going to attack him. So that's kind of been his differentiation, I guess, of kind of how his preparation goes into each game, each batter, and like their game plan. So yeah, I'm excited to see kind of how that plays out. This is a very topical subject because it's been going on. I don't know how much you want to touch it, but I mean, next season, possible lockout, salary caps, competitive balance. Let me just give you my thought, and then you can add whatever you want to. My thought with the salary cap is teams that aren't necessarily trying to win or spend money, that's not going to change with a cap. You're just going to cap the teams that are actually spending a lot of money. So I don't really know how much of a competitive balance that's going to make. Any thoughts that you have on that, if you want to touch on it?
I just I've had one thought about it. It's just like, how can I, as a player, sit in a clubhouse full of guys and be like, yeah, you know what, you're worth this much. Like, this is your cap. You're only going to be worth that much. Like, I like, how am I going to tell somebody what they're worth? But other than that,
Right.
I don't, I haven't got into it. I'm not a brainiac in that kind of sense. And, like you said, you'll have the teams that will spend money either way, and you'll have the teams that won't spend money either way. So, it's going to be interesting. Who knows what's going to happen? I kind of sit in the back of the room and listen in those conversations and just take what I can from it and take the knowledge and then just kind of go on about my business.
Well, hopefully, after this season, you'll have an issue when they want to pay you $40 million a year, and there's going to be a cap, and you'll be like, guys, you got to help me out here. I just had an
Yeah.
incredible season with the Phillies, so hopefully you do have to, face that at some point. Baseball has a lot of analytics, right? It's all numbers based. I want to know how much you focus or buy into analytics. I was looking at your baseball savant page, barrel percentage, chase percentage, whiff percentage, all that kind of stuff. How mindful are you of that? Because I was looking at your pitches. Your sweeper has like a 185 expected batting average, a 34.5 whiff percentage last season. That's like your knockout punch. Kind of like, yeah, like, do you focus on these analytics? How kind of gives you a barometer of what you need to be focusing on each pitch, how we can increase this chase rate, stuff like that?
Yeah. And I think most of the conversations I've had with Caleb so far is like, how can, we get better? And that's how, I view it. I did that really well last year. So how can I make that better this year is really how I look at it. And, there's a game plan going into, like you said, Real Muto will have a plan. Cotham will have a plan. I will have a plan. So how can we mesh our plans together and then go on about getting a guy out? Whether that's a weak ground ball, is it a strikeout? So is it a fly out? It's just a lot of things. Like I'm not big in baseball savant. I don't look at expected slug. I don't look at barrel percentage. I know if a guy clips me and I can hear the barrel, I know that that's not a good barrel percentage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he tagged
It's
it.
like, all
Yeah.
right, maybe I shouldn't do that. And but no, I'm a I get in my head a little bit. I struggled with that a lot in 23. 23 was a big learning year for me, and I kind of dove more into the analytics and got away from pitching. And I was like, all right, well, that's moving really well. Why am I getting hit? That type of situation. So I try to stay. I know what numbers to look at for my pitches of like vertical movement, horizontal movement. I know what plays well, what I'm best at. I know what I need to do. I know when it's bad, what the number is. So really trying to find my best numbers and staying around my best numbers is what I chase and what I look for, say, in a side or bullpen work and things like that. So I just I take what little I can to make me better, and then like you said, Cotham is really well regarded baseball world analytics, really smart guy. So I feel like he'll have something for me, and then I can take that and add that to my knowledge. But I feel like the less I know, the better.
Sure. Yeah. Just let me go out there and pitch, right? I know
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
a feel, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, like your sweeper, like why is that so effective? I was just looking at the numbers on it, and I saw an interview you had talking about maybe like to left-handed batters, how you can kind of like go up and in on them versus right-handed batters. Would you agree like that's your best pitch, like your sweeper's your knockout punch,
For a
and why is
strike,
that so
yeah,
effective?
I would say the sweeper for a strikeout pitch would just be it's moving 17 plus inches. I can get it up to 22 inches. So like the horizontal on it is really well. But what the problems I fall into it will is like, all right, well that's popping out of the hand. It's not following the fastball tunnel. It's not following the cutter tunnel. So like, how can I really tunnel that off to where it's like, hey, this is a heater. Never mind, it's on the lefty's back foot, or it's running away from a righty's barrel. It's just it moves a lot. So at times, like I'm trying to chase the horizontal and not really just try to execute it. I'm just trying to sweep it as much as possible. So I would say
Mm-hmm.
just running out of barrel to righties whenever it looks enticing, like a fastball. or the cutter, something harder to where I can get the slower one and make it move more. And then, for a lefty, it would be, started off the plate, comes back in, it's a strike. I can be able to steal a strike with it because it's a take the whole way, and then it comes back and hits the zone, or, it looks like a fastball the whole way, and then it's on the back foot. So really just
Mm,
trying to repeat that as much as possible.
sure. Um, what do you guys got? It's like 20 something days before you have to report. What's
Yep.
the day? You got it on your calendar or what? It's
Yeah,
like,
I'll start my drive February 6th. I believe physicals are the 10th. First, I think I'll be at the facility on the 9th, just to, pop in, say hey to everybody, introduce myself, and then physicals. And then I believe the first full workout is the 11th. I could be wrong, but I know I'll be there a
mm.
couple of days before, and, just really excited to meet, introduce myself, get to know everybody, and, just go compete for a spot.
So where are you staying then? Do you get you got like a Airbnb? You get in a hotel? Like what's your setup?
Yeah, I got a studio apartment type situation going because it was last minute.
Mm.
I was about to get a spot in Bradenton with three other guys with the Pirates, and then you know DFA traded, so now I looked for a new spot, and just got my own little area to go home to, and relax and hang out.
Going into spring training, you've obviously been to spring training with like a new set of guys. Like what do you focus on during spring ball? What constitutes as a successful spring for you? Obviously competing for a spot, but specifically this season, like what are you going into? Like this spring, I'm focusing on this, and if I do this, that will be a successful spring.
I would say just being me every day. You know what I mean? Like I
Mm,
said, I'm easygoing guy. Just really just being myself, especially in a new clubhouse full of guys don't know. So just being myself and taking advantage of the knowledge around me, and putting myself in the best position to succeed all year to help win games, but to also help me grow as a player and a person.
yeah, you're a country boy. You're from Texas, right? You would consider yourself a country boy.
Yeah, I'll say
Yeah.
that.
Well, yeah, you would say that, right? I
Yeah,
saw. Yeah, you're from Texas. You grew up watching the Astros, so I'm like, yeah, this is. I mean, what? That's almost like a camouflage sweatshirt, right? Kind of
yeah, it
close.
is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. JT Romulto, he is big into, I don't even know if it's hunting, but he's got like his own bows, I'm pretty sure. Like he had like a short mini series, I think on YouTube or something. I don't know if it was like turkey hunting, but like they asked the guys, they were like, if it was, zombie apocalypse or end of the world, like who do you want on your team? Like who's following you? And they all said JT Romulto and then Matt Strom. Those were two of like the guys who had that little bit of country bone in them that could like, hey, we're going here, we're gonna build a fire, we could do this. They got the
Yeah,
bows. So when you were like talking to guys and stuff, I think you and JT would get along pretty good just because of the background that you have, and that's maybe some like relatable stuff to talk about. So hey, bring that into spring
yeah,
training.
yeah. Thanks for that info. I'll definitely do it. This year was my first year actually bow hunting, and I was unsuccessful, but it's a learning thing, and it's just cool to be able to use that type of weapon, I guess you could call it, and
Yeah,
really just trying to Katniss Everdeen and Peter Pan, whatever it is, just trying to hit a target with
yeah.
it is hard enough. And so this it was a humbling experience this year hunting wise, but it's all part of life and moving forward with evolving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think that reflects a lot like baseball too, right? I mean, if you look at hitting, if you fail 7 out of 10 times, you're a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's you're out there in the woods, you're waiting for hours. Like you said, you were unsuccessful, but that's not going to keep you from getting back out there. I think there's a lot of things you can learn and just good stuff from having like a delayed gratification. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
everything now is like, I want to know, it's on my phone, you know, blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
But like that delayed gratification is almost like a lost, not art, but like a lost form of whatever. Like everything is so instant now. There's no gradual delayed gratification. So I think, yeah, like hunting, baseball are all great examples of that.
absolutely. Golf.
Golf, yeah, you
Yeah,
like to go. I mean, obviously you were at the U.S. Open. Are you? How
yeah.
good are you? I mean,
I mean, I'm in a non-handicap, so it comes and goes. I can have a really good day. I can have a really bad day. So, like you said, it's delayed gratification. You can suck for 17 holes, but you can birdie 18, and then you're back the next day. So it's that kind of thing.
yeah, and you're buying drinks after you birdie that last hole.
Yeah,
Also, they said JT is also the best golfer on the team. I think JT and Stott, possibly with Stott, but I know JT is a very good golfer as well. So again, more ammunition to bring into spring training.
yeah,
If you guys get paired up, be like, "Yo, JT, I'm with you, dude. I heard you were
yeah.
good."
You got to backpack me. Actually, so I was
Yeah.
teammates with Cody Clemens at Texas, and whenever Worcester would go to Lehigh, and me and Cody would find a day to go out and golf, and he was telling me like I remember that he was like JT real deal at golf, so I remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
excited
You
to be there.
good. Last thing I have here, Chase, it's just like a speed round. I'm just gonna say topics, and then you give me the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay.
Got it.
All right. Best city to pitch in.
Pittsburgh, the place is a
Pittsburgh.
graveyard. Yeah.
Beautiful. It's beautiful, right? I still haven't
Well,
been, but
yeah. I haven't hit every field. I don't know, but I know I gave up some hard contact last year that I thought was gone, and it's warning track or it's in front of the warning track. So I was like, all right, like that's nice.
yeah, power of the Allegheny River, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Get that wind blowing in.
Yeah. Walkout song. If you got to choose a walkout song, what are you choosing?
I'm a huge walkout guy, so like it varies. I can just go with the one I did last year. It was White Horse by Chris Stapleton.
Okay.
Yeah,
White Horse, Chris Stapleton. Okay.
I doubt I'll run it
Um.
back, but that's the first
Oh,
song that
so you
came
got
to
to
my
find
head.
a new one then.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right. Well, what's running through your head? Obviously, you like Chris Stapleton. Do you like Morgan Wallen? Do you like um, dude Bailey Zimmerman? Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah, yeah. They're all like you said, they're all
I,
good and they all got a ton of great songs, so it's like what am I going to choose from? I'm probably
yeah.
leaning towards I think it's Long Hot Summer Day by Turnpike Troubadours. I
Long
could be
hot summer
butchering
day.
the name. I could be butchering the name of it, but it's a Turnpike song, so that's in the mix.
Okay. Turnpike. That's the name of the band.
Yeah, Turnpike Troubadours.
Troubadours. Oh, I got to check that out. I like all those like raspy
Yeah,
country artists.
yeah,
You know what I
me
mean?
too. Yeah.
All right. Good. If you weren't a ball player, what would you be doing?
A lot of my buddies work in a plant, like a chemical plant out here, so I would assume be out there or finding my way to the game. It's between blue collar work or being a coach, so it's that kind of deal.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what I did, man. I was not good enough for the pros, just played in college. So how can I stay in the game? It's like, dude, make baseball content, do
Yep.
podcasts, talk about baseball, and try and make that your career. So I'm with you, dude. I just want to be as close to the game as possible. Oh, you know that the All-Star game is here in Philly this year, right?
No, I did not know that actually.
Yeah,
That's
All-Star
that's
game,
really
home run
exciting.
derby. And it's the 250th anniversary of the city of Philadelphia. 1776 to 2026. So 250th anniversary home run derby all-star game. So it is going to be crazy here come July, man. Yeah. So now you know it's a big year for Philly.
Yeah, it's
Obviously,
shaping
with
up.
next year's stuff looming. Like we don't know what's going to happen. So this year, in Philly, we're hoping Harp and Schwarber do the home run derby here. It would be awesome.
Yeah,
So
that's gonna be
yeah,
sick.
man, a lot of yeah, it's gonna be sick.
I usually go home for
Last,
All-Star break. I might hang out.
well, hopefully, yeah,
or
hopefully
fi- or or fish my way into it. Who knows?
yeah, bro, please.
Yeah,
They
that'd be
had
sick.
last season we had like 8 players. It was like they tied for the record of franchise history, like the most, whether it was starters or what do you call it if you're not a starter? It's like a reserve. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah, something like that.
we had ton of guys, dude. So there's so much talent and opportunity, and yeah, I hope you get that opportunity as well.
Yeah,
Toughest hitter you faced?
toughest hitter I've faced in the big leagues. I would say, man,
I know it's not Jackson Holiday because you K'd him for your first strikeout.
yeah,
I just saw that. I was like, hell yeah.
Jackson's a tough out. I had the luxury of facing him like 2 weeks before in AAA before I had to made my debut against the Orioles, so was very familiar with him and what I could do to get him out.
Mm-hmm.
I faced Cowser once. He slapped me. I threw him one pitch. uh, Man, I don't know. There's not really an AB this past year that just kind of sticks out.
Yeah, that's fine. Just
My
mowing
day
down
in my
everyone.
yeah my San and my debut Santander, I had like a 13 pitch AB against him. So I would say that's been my toughest AB so far.
Okay.
13,
Anthony
14 pitches or something.
Santander.
Yeah.
Okay. One teammate you would not want mic'd up.
Not mic'd up. I'd have to go back to either the Red Sox or the Pirates. It'd be not mic'd up. I don't know. I feel like everybody's kind of
There's nobody that's just a liability. Just being like,
Louis,
bro,
probably Luis Guerrero. He just got traded to the Rays. I was with him with the Red Sox. I'd say Luis Guerrero. He's
he's a
crazy.
wild card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wild card. Yeah. You never know
Yeah.
what you're gonna get with him. Great guy, but you never know what you're gonna get.
Well, you said you're like a jokester. You guys do like
Yeah.
a lot of pranks and stuff. You got any
It's
prank
just
stories?
little jabs I give to people, like get to know them, and then something they're like they bring it up. I'm like, well, here's this, and there's little jabs here and there. I'm not a big prankster. I don't like pranks being pulled on me. Sometimes they
Yeah.
go too far, so I try to stay away from those.
Dude, have you ever heard the Greg Maddux prank stories?
No, I have not.
When if you're bored,
I have. I have,
the
and I
most
can't repeat them because
devious.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how true they are, but it sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, no, they were corroborated by multiple teammates of the stuff that he did and just devious things where it's like, that's just assault. That's not even a prank. Yeah. So shout out Greg Maddux.
Yeah.
Chase, that was all I had, man. Did you have anything else you want to leave the Philly fans with before we get out of here?
No, not much. I'm just ready to get rolling. Excited to be a part of Philly, and hopefully contributing to a championship this year. So just excited to get
Awesome.
rolling.
Chase, we are happy to have you. Again, thank you for sitting down with me. I'm going to end this. Stick around, and I'll get you out of here. But again, congratulations on the contract with the Phillies. We're excited to see you. I'll be down there for spring training. So I go down every spring training. I'll probably see you down there. And then obviously when we're back here for opening day.
Yeah, be sure to give me a holler, dude.
All right. Guys, thanks for watching. We will be back next time with another episode.